Be ready to go live now over here. Perfect. What's going on, winners? It's your boy Loso 2.0. And today we will be talking about Matthew chapter 2. And on Matthew chapter 2, we will be talking about some of the leadership skills that you will be able to achieve through lessons that you learned from Matthew chapter 2. And just to talk about a few of them, we have vision, we have discernment, we have adaptability, and we have protection of purpose that we'll be talking about here in Matthew 2. See, me, I truly learned how to be a leader when my job was on the line. When I first got into, well, the leadership role, not when I first got into it, but maybe when I was like a year in, I still did not have any idea of what to do. I did not know how to lead a team, truly lead a team, how to be omnipotent. Omnipotent is similar to God in a way. So God is omnipotent. He's everywhere, but he's nowhere at the same time. So I had to be in multiple places at once. I also did not know how to learn when to be a little bit more micromanaging and when to also just take a step back and then allow yourself to be more fluent or be able to help more people or allow them to kind of have that innovation and that creativity to do what they want. I never knew how to do that. But when I felt as though my job was on the line, when previous leaders was telling me that my job was on the line, that's when I truly learned how to get into my bag and start to learn how to become a true leader. And it's not easy. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But it is simple. And throughout Matthew chapter 2 is actually where I learned a little bit about how simple or the simplicity of it is, right? So during this chapter 2, Matthew chapter 2, you're going to learn again how to adapt, how to discern, how to have that vision, and how to protect yourself through all costs. So, first, we're going to start off with the first thing. Wise leaders, they follow the right vision. Now, what do I mean by this? See, the wise men in the Bible in Matthew chapter 2, the wise men, they followed the star. There was that star that they was following. And when they followed the star, this was them seeking greater purpose rather than immediate reward. I want you to sit back and unpack this for a little bit. They were seeking that vision that they seen down the line rather than immediate reward. I'm gonna tell you a little bit of story about this. See, I when I first I used to work at a different type of company. It was a larger company. It was actually the largest company of this set retailer in the entire country. I mean, they had more locations than they had corporate locations of this set company. And at this company, I decided to leave it because I did not agree with the culture that I was feeling during this company. I did not agree with the culture. So since I left the culture and I went to a place that had better culture, I then realized that I'm going to be taking a pay cut. Now, I took a huge pay cut at first. Like I'm talking about thousands of dollars of pay cut, tens of thousands of dollars of a pay cut just to go to this other company. Commission wasn't good either. But I seen the vision of it being a small company, the vision of having a bigger impact on a company and knowing what I can do in order to help this company. I seen all of that. I seen that entire vision. So what did I do? I then went and I joined this smaller company. So when I joined this said company, there was a pay cut for an entire year where I was actually struggling a little bit. You fast forward it to today. Now, yes, the company started to compact in a way, but it compacts because its focus and started to increase. It was growing fast, but the company leaders were so intelligent in the idea that they didn't want to grow so fast that you lose that culture, that you lose that focus on actually squeezing all you can out of each location. Instead, they wanted to learn how to squeeze all they can out of the smaller amount of locations they have before they can expand and then continue to grow the business. So that is the way I thought about. I thought about that vision down the line as, oh snap, I'm gonna be a big part of this company when it grows. I want to be a big part of this company when it becomes something huge. And I know it can, and I know it will become something huge. When you're in your business, you have to have that, whether you're a business owner, whether you are a supervisor, you have to have that vision, and your job is to instill that vision on your team instead of that immediate reward. That immediate reward could be that you may make, a little bit of money, but then that vision, you lose sight of that vision, and you don't lose sight of that vision. True leaders, they follow clear vision over short-term gains. Okay. My goals are even like this now, in the sense of my goals are, I made them in the idea of, okay, this is what my goals are for the month instead of daily. Because sometimes daily I might mess up. Now I do want to take a day at a time, but these are my monthly goals. I know one monthly goal I may be able to knock out in a couple of days. So let me just focus on this monthly goal for these few amount of days. For example, right now I'm on my push-ups. I know for the month I have to do 3,500 push-ups. Right now I'm at 2,200. I was like, okay, I can knock out 1,300 of these before the month's up. Obviously, I'm gonna do that in the next couple of days. That's what my goal is: knock it out in the next couple of days. That I can knock on my core. I have 5,000 reps of core to knock out. I'm gonna knock that out in a few days or whatever. Then I'm gonna focus on my, after I knock out that few, thousand core, my goal might be to focus on, okay, you know what, now I'm gonna focus on my squats, or I'm gonna focus on my pull-ups, or focus on my dips. But I know that I got that all done for the month of February. So as a leader, don't focus on a short-term game so much. Just focus on that vision, and then you could break that vision down into daily tasks, but continue to push people through that vision because that's what's going to get them through, right? So always to do it, right? So I'm going to ask you this: how do you discern the right path? How do you discern what is the right vision, that clear vision for you to take, as opposed to what's the short-term game? I want you to, comment below some things that you're thinking about discerning of in your business or whatever team that you lead. Where's short-term gains for that team, and what is that clear vision? I want you to comment that below too as well. The second thing is, leadership requires discernment and avoiding manipulation. King Herod from Matthew 2 claimed to want to worship Jesus, but he had hidden motives. It kind of reminds me of that saying, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. You have to be able to discern the different types of people, who is actually really there for you and who is there just to get along the ride, and who's there just to grow, who's there to grow with you, and who's there just to be there because they know you're going to be something. It's a difficult thing to do, right? But you got to be steps ahead. That's why, as a leader, I always recommend you playing games that challenge your mind. My game is chess, but your game might not be chess. But you have to. I always tell leaders to always play games like that challenge your strategy, challenge you getting steps ahead. Me as a leader, that's I have to understand that. I have to know how to be steps ahead. Like, if a rep is leaving the company, I'm like, you know what? I know that they're going to leave this company, so let me already start hiring this person. Or this person may be better in this location as opposed to this location. What if I put this person here as opposed to there? You have to be able to adapt, right? Leaders must discern between genuine support and hidden agendas, like I stated before too as well. And you also be able to, but not just on the outside too as well. See, a lot of times, and this is with anything, you're really not battling against anybody else. You are battling against your own self, your own team. How can you beat yourself? Now, what do I mean by that? There's going to be people in your internal that are actually have hidden motives. They're not really there for the vision. They just kind of going along for the ride. Oh my gosh. There was this leader that I had to actually let go prior to. This person looked like they were having the greatest intentions ever. They were probably one of the best people that I ever had work for me, as opposed to their energy, as opposed to doing what you told them to do. But then they just couldn't get the job done because there was maybe not a point in their life where they can actually complete the job that you need to get done. So I had to let them go. Sometimes you're gonna have to let people go. Sometimes you gotta discern, like I said, and even if it is genuine support, it may be genuine support, but they may not be able to be that person for that job. Or they may not be that person that's in that mental space in order to get what you need them to get done. You have to be the deciding factor of that as the leader. You got to be able to discern through these different things. And that's what Matthew 2 is telling us with King Herod. He had other motives. His motives were different from just worshiping Jesus. No matter how much he spat, I want to worship Jesus, I want to worship Jesus, I want to worship Jesus. And to me, that also in my line of business has to do with figuring out who are those people who are the BSers. Now, what do I mean by that? There's so many people who are quote unquote BSers, the ones that are, oh, I'm working, I'm gonna get it done. I'm working so hard, I'm trying this, I'm trying that, but the whole time they're really not trying. There's a lot of BSers like that. You have to really be careful to figure out who is BSing and who's actually being genuine. You have to be definitely able to discern through that too as well. Another point, right, is adaptability. That's the third point, is adaptability, right? So Joseph, he led his family to Egypt after having a dream. He was sleeping, he had a dream. They say, yo, you got to get to Egypt. And then when he had a dream and they told him to go to Egypt, he ended up going to Egypt after that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Deshaun. But he just had to get up and adapt to that. As a leader, you have to have that adaptability. In basketball, they call it your pivot foot. Your pivot foot is the foot that you pick. When you land on 2 feet, you can decide which one's your pivot foot. And that foot stays grounded, but you can move on the other foot as much as you want. You may be able to spin all the way around, you may be able to hit a jab, you may be able to step through, swing over. You be able to do so many things just from that pivot foot without even dribbling the ball. You have to be able to pivot as a leader. You have to be able to stay true to your core, but also stay adaptable. Now, what do I mean by that? You have certain core values about yourself as a leader that you are not going to be able to weigh off of, no matter how somebody tries to put you in it. Like, for example, mine is one of my core values, not even as a leader, but as a person. Though, I know, like, I'm not smoking no cigarettes. I know that for a fact. That's just not me. I'll never smoke a cigarette. You can't allow, now that you're around other people, to put you off the line and be like, oh, bro, try this cigarette, try this cigarette. You have to be able to guide yourself to what your true values are. You have to figure out what your values are. Now, as a leader, you might have your foot on down on, no, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I need you to do every single time with every single person that comes in here. Or as part of my organization, you need to get this done on this deadline. Don't try to waver your values over the fact of what else is someone else is saying. Oh, that's not good values. That's not how you get it done. No, you may be able to listen to what they're saying, but try to discern what they're saying, how they're saying it. But also, you have to be able to stay adaptable, but keep those core values too as well of you, because there's certain things that you may not be able to do. Someone said, one of my leaders in at one of my locations literally was talking about the idea that, yo, I just want to touch a mill. I'm gonna touch a mill. I don't care how I get it done. I'm like, well, let's not say that, because you do care how it's get done. If I tell you to be a prostitute for $1 million, you're not gonna do it. If I tell you to be a drug dealer for $1 million, you're not gonna do it. But if I say maybe run a conventional business or ethical business, you may do it. If I say work, be a personal trainer, you may do it. It may be your thing. There's certain things that you're not willing to do for money, but you're able to adapt to as well, because you had that how. That's why the vehicle doesn't matter as much. I said this in my speech before. The vehicle does not matter as much when you understand how when you understand how to adapt. The vehicle may not matter as much, but you have to still keep true to those core values. So when I was the leader of a single location, I was big on micromanagement. Yo, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. You're doing it this way, you gotta do this. I'm kind of telling them how to do it my way rather than the way that may be best suited for them. As a leader of multiple locations, I learned how to pick up on the idea of asking them, how can I help you? I had a rep that I asked them, listen, what do you think will help you guys to continue to execute more? What could help you guys more? One of them told me, hey, listen, I need you to go do trainings with us once a week, training, lock in, this, that, and the third. I think this will help. Okay. Now I set it in my calendar. I had another one that was telling me, oh, what I need you to do is I need you to stay here for a few days and just go through everything with us. Because when we're here, we start to get it, but then we lose that idea once you leave. I stood there a few days. They started to get it. They started picking up. I had another one tell me, yeah, I had another one tell me, yo, listen, I like it better when you call me, like when you're actually here, you call me and I'm able to go through these things. So that's what now I was like, listen, but you actually have to call me if I want you to. If you want to do better, truly want to do better, you have to call me so we can go through everything together. You have to learn how to figure out what best fits the person that is following you under your leader. You're not going to be able to coach everybody the same. Certain people you could be a little bit more harder on because that's what they're used to. Other people you may not be able to be as harder on. Other people may want that freedom, even though they can't do it, but you can twist it around some way to do it. Now, eventually, at the end of the day, you have a job to get done. You have a mission that you have to complete, but there's different ways to adapt to that mission or adapt to that job based off of the person that you're working with, right? So instead of micromanagement, learn how what best coaching way best suits the person that you're trying to help, or the person that's in your organization, the person that's in your business, the person that's in your zone, your market. Try to figure out that to them what's tailored better to them to help them do better. All right. And then the last point that came from Matthew 2 is to protect your calling. See, Herod, King Herod sought to destroy Jesus. This was the hidden motives that he had. He had that hidden agenda. You know, he kept saying, claiming he wanted to worship Jesus, wanted to worship Jesus. But at the end of the day, in the back of his head, he really wanted to destroy Jesus, right? But before his purpose was fulfilled, he wanted to destroy him. He wanted to destroy Jesus. That was before his purpose was fulfilled. Before Jesus was able to come on here, free us from sin. Before he wanted to do everything that he was meant to do, this king wanted to destroy Jesus. There's going to be people like that, right? You're going to face opposition and challenges. I'm gonna be honest with you. And again, it can be external or internal. Man, I remember back when I had my other zone, when I was at the other company, there was another leader, another zone leader that was connected to me that was trying to sabotage me in order to make sure he was fine, but but not at the cost of me. He had values that he was willing to overtake in order to make himself look good. Me, there's certain values that I just won't do. There's certain values that I can't do as a man. There's certain values that I can't do as a leader that I don't respect from other. I wouldn't be able to respect from another leader. I'm gonna find a way to get the job done the right way. I'm gonna find a way to get the job done without doing anything sneaky, without doing anything like this. Now there are tactics and stuff that you can learn, but I'm not gonna be sneaky about it. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to allow us to grow as a company, to grow as a zone, without, with the ethical way, the moral and ethical way too as well. I want to be good. I want to be great, but I want to be great the right way because that's more sustainable. Doing it the sneaky way, doing little trick stuff, and sabotaging other people is not my way to get things done, because at the end of the day, I know that that stuff comes back around. No, I want to do it the ethical way that's going to have that foundation that's going you can grow upon, right? So you got to have to learn how to recognize and guard yourself against these threats. These threats could be that person smiling in your face right now. Those threats could be that person that they may just straight up let you know they are. They may just say opposition right on their head, but other times there's going to be people that you may not know, that you may be people that you may be close to that are really out here, out to get you, out to take your spot, out to get everything that you had, everything that you built. They're willing to try to take that down. So you have to be careful of that, especially as a leader, right? People that want your spot. I know so many people that's going to definitely just want to take your spot, but you got to be careful of that too as well. So always remove those bad apples, because they always say this: a bad apple ruins the bunch, right? Underperformer, no matter how great a performers are, you could put three performers, great performers, or you could put 10 great performers. You have one bad performer, right? Out of 10, you got one. So that's nine good ones, one bad one. That one drops the performance of all the other nine by 20% just by being there. But it works in the other way too. Those performers are pulling that other one up. So that's what you have to be careful about, having bad apples. And one bad apple can really ruin the bunch, and that's not what you want to as a leader. So, do you remember what we went through when it came down to Matthew 2? Comment below what your favorite part was as I go through it. One, wise leaders follow through the right vision. You worry about that clear vision over short-term gains. Two, leaders leadership requires discernment and avoiding manipulation. Be able to figure out who's there for you and who's not there for you. Three, great leaders are able to adapt. They have that adaptability where they're able to pivot on their foot to see, or pivot to see without losing their core values. And four, great leaders protect their calling. They remove those bad apples from the bunch, or they do whatever they need to do, right? For externally or internally. That's really all I have for you guys today, man. If you want to join my coaching program, you can always DM me coach, or DM me leader. I'll be able to reach out to you guys about doing that stuff. Again, I want you guys to keep killing the day. Thank you for tuning in. Winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.